The Vinka script deciphered. The Vinka script was used in Tartaria by the Magyar or Hungarian people. The Hungarian people claim they came from ancient Nubia. This is supported by the cognition between Hungarian and African languages. Proto-Magyar or Hungarian came from the Proto-Sahara. The Southeastern European Copper Age was began by the Proto-Saharans. These Manti, Proto-Magyar, and Dravidian-speaking people established mining villages and cattle-herding communities in Eastern Europe and the Central Asian steppes. They are associated with the Vinka-Tartaria and Tripoli cultures. These miners controlled the rich gold areas of Transylvania and the tin from the Erz Mountains of Czechoslovakia. Most of these sites for early metal mining were established near the Danube River in the Carpathian Basin. A common origin for the miners of the Aegean and the Tripoli culture would explain the analogy between the writing systems of the Danube Valley, Troy, Crete, and the ancient Sahara. Vincan writing is based on the Thinite script that was used 10,000 years ago in the Proto-Sahara. The Thinite script was a logosyllabic system of writing. The words used to write Thinite were monosyllabic. The deciphers of the Vinka writing was Dr. Toth Bator and Dr. Clyde Winters. In the 1990s, Dr. Clyde Winters and Toth Bator deciphered the Vinka writing. Dr. Toth Bator is a Hungarian speaker. Bator and I had three hypotheses. Number one, the Vinka writing shared similar signs used by Dravido-Africans. 2. The Hungarians claimed they came from Nubia. 3. This view was supported by the genetic linguistic relationship between Hungarian and the Mandi and Tamil languages. 4. Due to the cognition between Hungarian and Dravido-African languages and the identical signs in the Thinite and Vinka scripts, we felt we could probably read the Vinka signs using the Hungarian language. Magyar and Hungarian languages are closely related to African and Dravidian languages. Here we compare kinship terms. These terms are man, child, woman, person. As you can see, these signs have close analogy. The Proto-Magyar were one of the many ethnic groups which formerly lived in the fertile African Crescent. They offered prayers to Khan, e.g. Magyar Khan, Konyorag, Mandin Kani, and in Dravidian Khan. They also worshiped the god Ammon, who the Hungarians called Anya. In ancient times, a wonderful civilization existed in the highland regions of Middle Africa. Archaeologists named this culture Unanian. The Unanian culture is characterized by bows and arrows. In this wonderful civilization 6,000 years ago lived the ancestors of the Dravidians, Black Africans, Elamites, and the Sumerians. Today we call this area in which the civilization developed the fertile African Crescent. This fertile African Crescent included the Proto-Saharans because the highland regions in which the Proto-Saharans lived formed a crescent shape across the Saharan region of Middle Africa. Ancient Hungarians belonged to the Kukuteni Tripoli culture. The ancient Hungarians belonged to the Ma civilization. The name Ma is found in many Proto-Saharan ethnonyms. For example, the Manding called themselves Mainde, the children of Ma. The Sumerians called themselves Makgari, exalted God's children, and the Magyar, or ancient Hungarians, referred to themselves as Mukgari or Makhar, exalted children. As you can see, all of these people have incorporated the name of the ancient civilization in which they belong to. According to David McRitchie, the most ancient Uralic speakers were called Suzerni Ugris, or Black Ugris. The Ugris were also called Huni. The name Ugrian is the origin for the word Hungarian. The Hungarians were also called Szabato-Kaspali, the blacks. Carpathian blacks belong to the Tripoli culture. The Carpathian blacks arrived in the area in the 4th millennium BC. The Tripoli culture dates from 3800 to 2100 BC. The Tripoli culture was established in the Ukraine, Moldavia, and Romania, along the Sirat River in the Ukraine. The Tripoli people may have collected, cultivated barley, millet, and wheat. They also had domesticated cattle, sheep, goats, and pigs. As in Africa, their principal domesticant at the time was cattle. Many animal and human figurines have been found on Tripolian sites. The Tripoli Rotun ceramic female figurines are analogous to the Rotun female figurines found in ancient Nubia. One of these cultures was the Vinka culture. The Vinka-Tartaria culture is very interesting because of the evidence of writing found in this culture. The famous Tartarian tablets were produced by the Vinka-Tartaria culture. The Vinka-Tartaria culture is associated with Western Bulgaria, Southwest Romania, and Yugoslavia. Here you can see some of the inscriptions that they left on their tablets. The Vinka people, in addition to possessing writing, were also engaged in copper metallurgy. They made clay and stone figurines and fine pottery. As among the contemporary Nubians and Tripolian culture, the Vinka people made fine human and animal figurines. Tartaria is a town 70 miles south of the city of Cluj on the Maros River near that part of Transylvania, famous in classical times for gold deposits. The ancient Magyar called Transylvania Tatarlaka. In Magyar, Tatarlaka can be translated as the seat of power, knowledge. This view is supported by the Magyar legends that claim that during the Golden Age, Tatarlaka was a fairyland where the people, the Tudor, fairy girls, and elf ladies lived an ideal life of dancing, singing, and making love. This mention of females playing an important role in society places this Carpathian Golden Age during the epoch when the mother goddess served as a symbol of worship and matriarchy dominated old Europe. According to Kandros Kabos, at the end of this Golden Age of reason, the fairy girls mostly turned to stone, or stone idols. People then began to make pilgrimages to the Kos, or idols. Vincan writing is sometimes called the Danube script, since many of the sites for the Vinka culture were along the Danube River. Tartaria site is a mound 250 yards long and 100 yards wide. The culture of Tartaria and Tardos belong to the Vinka culture. The Vinka culture took its name from a site in Yugoslavia. The Vinka culture lasted 1,000 years. The signs on the Tartarian tablets have affinities to Proto-Sumerian, pre-dynastic Egyptian Thanite writing, Libyco-Berber, Proto-Elamite, and Trojan writing. Zanatti has suggested that the dates for the tablets may be between 3300 BC and 3000 BC, or contemporary with Uruk IV of the Jimdet Nasra period in Mesopotamia. There have been many attempts to decipher the Vinka writing. The Hungarian scholar János Maki has examined Insights Tartarian tablet signs from 37 sites spread throughout Hungary and Romania. The presence of these tablets highlight the highly developed character of the ancient African cultures in Europe. Many scholars have attempted to decipher these tablets in the past. Jacques Gaber believed the inscriptions were written in Sumerian and discussed taxation. In another attempt at decipherment, Tibor Barras recognized that the tablets were written in Magyar and believed that they recorded an astrological event. Even though the Hungarian scholar Tibor Barras was correct in reading the tablets in Magyar, his interpretation of the words is incorrect. In 1983, Clyde Winters and Toth Bator deciphered the Tartarian tablets and discovered that it is not relating to an astrological event. It was an amulet worn by a Proto-Magyar dignitary. The amulet was deciphered by Dr. Toth and Dr. Winters, who gave the characters on the Tartarian tablet phonetic values consistent with the Proto-Saharan script, or Thinite. Winters and Toth found that the interpretation of the Tartarian tablets in Magyar and Manding was quite similar. Reading the Tartarian inscriptions from left to right in Magyar, we have Jotas Dogoko, Tajatobo, Taigibe, Kone, Miat-ke. In English it reads, goodness here adheres to you from the deity. Here the source of abundance. The deity is the source of unity. The deity is for me, which integrates me into one unity with the divinity. This Magyar decipherment is very interesting because if we read these signs in the Mandi language, they have almost the same meaning. In Manding, these signs would read, Yotatogoko, Neko, Poto, Miendege. In English, this means, make my present state of existence here the refuge of God. My God is a pleasant refuge, to consume indeed purity. The ancient Proto-Saharan settlers of Europe, as their ancestors in the fertile African Crescent, used the term Ko to denote a rock, stone, envoy, and God. Ko may have been a variation of the word Kas, horned ram. The ram among the dwellers of the fertile African Crescent was a primordial symbol of the deity, who was usually called Amma, Amun, Amen, and etc. The earliest representation of this deity are found in the Sahara, which predate the worship of Amun-Ra in Egypt by 1,000 years. Also, an unexcavated ram-headed sphinx, much older than the Egyptian sphinx believed to be a rock formation, is presently situated at Siwa in the eastern desert. Due to the fact that Ko, in the languages spoken by the Proto-Saharan meant stone, made it natural for this term to symbolize God, since the deity represents both stability and power. Moreover, since the fertile African Crescent and later the Carpathian Basin was settled during a golden age characterized by stability and reason, gave the term Ko a double meaning among the Proto-Saharans or ancient Kushites. This meaning was stability and power, or God. The use of the term Ko to denote God by the Proto-Magyar and the Tartarian omelet supports the Kushite origin of the Magyar people who made this amulet. The Decipherment of the Tartarian tablet by Dr. Toth Bator and Dr. Clyde Winters is important because it offers the first written evidence that man paid homage to a supreme power in Europe over 5,000 years ago. The Tartarian amulet is also important to world history because it is the earliest written document to appear in Europe. Moreover, the fact that Ko may relate to powerful leaders suggests that the Proto-Magyar people, as evidenced by the excavation of other Tartarian-type tablets on 37 sites, had a powerful elite that wielded the prehistoric Carpathian Basin villages into one of the world's earliest empires. The disciples of the Vinka writing are Dr. Toth Bator and Dr. Clyde Winters.